You know, we hear and see a lot about lactose intolerance these days, but what does it really mean? Terry Verison is with the Dairy Council of Arizona, and you know, Terry, I thought that if you were lactose intolerant that you could not eat dairy.
That's really not true at all. Let's talk about what lactose intolerance is. First of all, lactose is the carbohydrate that's in milk. It's two simple sugars that are bound together, and typically what happens is your body has an enzyme to break that apart, you absorb it, and it does beneficial things in your body. People that have a difficult time digesting lactose either don't have enough of that enzyme or have other things going on that are interfering with that. So that carbohydrate goes through the rest of it doesn't get broken apart, it doesn't get absorbed, and it goes through the rest of their system where we have all that beneficial bacteria that love having carbohydrates to use as a food source. And that's what ends up causing all of the stomach problems, the bloating and other symptoms.
You don't have to get descriptive with what you mean.
But what you want to do is take a look at that chemistry of that.
Okay.
First of all, one thing you can do is try lactose-reduced products. Now, there are milks out there that add that enzyme to the milk. So the carbohydrate in here is already broken apart. So your system can absorb it and you don't have to worry about having those GI problems. You do want to start small, use smaller servings to start with. Also try some of the lactate tablets, which is the enzyme that helps break that apart. My son was lactose intolerant when he was young, and we used to use that lactate enzyme, and it worked just perfectly.
I'm just curious, if you are not lactose intolerant, can you still drink lactose-free milk?
You can. It's actually a little sweeter because those two simple sugars are broken apart. So it's perfectly fine to drink, no problem.
Well, because sometimes, you know, it's good for mom, and, you know, you want to buy, you know, a half a gallon of one thing. So now everybody can drink it, including
absolutely,
mom.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So there's a number of other tips. When we talk about stir it, we're talking about incorporate milk in small amounts with other foods. That's going to slow the digestion of your foods in your stomach, and it's going to slow any problems that you might have with that. So a smaller amount of that carbohydrate in your intestine at one time is going to make it much easier to digest. So whether it's with cereals or soups or stews or casseroles or whatever it might be, incorporate some of that in there.
Okay. And this is, I know you bring this occasionally,
Absolutely.
one of your favorite cheeses, because a cheese is sometimes just completely out of the question, but not necessarily.
No, absolutely not at all, actually.
See?
Because
we told you we'd have good tips for you.
Because you know how they make curds and whey,
right?
And they separate the curds, and here we actually have some curds that are made with Arizona milk. Most of the whey, anywhere from 92 to 98% of the lactose is drained out in the whey. If you look at a label for cheese, it says 0 carbohydrate. Lactose is the carbohydrate. If there's no carbohydrate in there, you're probably not going to have any issue with it. So whether it's slices on your sandwiches or crackers or whatever, shredded cheese, cheese curds, whatever, those are going to be ways to incorporate it. Again, start small, see where your tolerance level is, and then you can build that up also.
Absolutely.
And then our last one is spoon it. And yogurt, actually, those active cultures in yogurt help your body digest that lactose and break it apart. So those active cultures are really beneficial for somebody who has lactose problems.
And by the way, you gave us some great recipes for lactose intolerant folks.
That's right, and National Dairy Council has actually paired with allrecipes.com to have a whole lactose-friendly section on their website. So if you're looking for lactose-friendly recipes, check out allrecipes.com, do a search for lactose, and you'll find some wonderful recipes.
Better yet, you visit the website. Thank you so much, Terry, for more great tips and recipes. Dairy Council of Arizona, they've done it all for you. It's dairycouncilofaz.org. They are the nutrition education people.
Yes, she always is so great. She always gives us so much great, useful advice.
I know. And
Yes.
recipes.
That's right.